Okay, so I ordered a D500 last week and it has arrived. So I figured I'd go ahead and do a little unpacking to see what we got. So let's see what we got. Packing list, we'll check that later. Let's get to the good stuff. Now, here we go, Nikon refurbished D500. I went with the refurb because it saved me hundreds of dollars. It's still a licensed Nikon product, so I'm not too worried about it. The laptop that I use is a refurb, and I believe even my 24-70 was a refurb as well. Okay, plugs, strap, probably be replacing that shortly. Charger, cable, looks like, yeah, just to turn, probably plug straight into the camera to download. We still use card readers. Battery, definitely going to need that. And last but certainly not least, our D500. I think I read somewhere that bubble wrap is going the way of the dodo bird. Looks like Nikon's still using it though. What else we got here? Nikon, thank you for your purchase of a Nikon refurbished product. To assure that you have the latest available software, blah blah blah. Yeah, and all that good stuff. Okay. And see, reconditioned product, but it still has a limited warranty. We put so much wear and tear on this gear that it doesn't really matter. As long as the thing works, we're using it. Boy, that's a lot tinier than that D4s that I use. I'm told that it has the same engine though as the D500. It's a 20 megapixel camera, 21 almost. Yeah, see, this little rubber piece is already falling off my D4s, so that'll be nice. The menu setup on the D4s compared to this is almost identical. The one thing that I like about this one better is that it actually has an ISO button right up top here, which with the D4s I have to go down here and hit a button back here. Now I do have a vertical grip for this on order, so hopefully that should be showing up shortly, because I do shoot a lot of vertical photos. But yeah, let's see if the battery's got any charge on it. Let's see what we can do here. A lot of times these will come with just a little bit of a charge. Let's see if I'm right about that. Hey, look at that. Low battery, but it's there. Now what's interesting about the D500 is that it actually uses an XQD card, which is made by Sony, and it's super fast. And it still uses an SD card. Now my D4s actually uses an XQD card or a compact flash card. So obviously the goal here is to probably end up picking up 2 XQD cards to run in both camera bodies. However, those are extremely expensive. So we'll see. As far as that goes, the grip is deep. It's nice. It fits my hand pretty well here. And yeah, quality settings, not going to really touch those pretty much ever once we get those set. White balance, we'll be jumping into that a little bit. Metering system and mode, all of these are not going to be used a whole lot. Now this is a little different. I do not know. Oh, here's a release here. Single shot, low, high, quiet, quiet continuous. That's new. I don't have that on the D4s. Self timer and mirror lockup. I'll be shooting on CL a lot. And then yeah, video recording here. This does 4K video compared to the 1080 on all my other cameras that I have. So this is actually the best video camera that the Times News owns now. It is the Nikon D500. Now this is also a DX sensor, which means it has a 1.5 crop factor. The Nikon D4s that I use actually is a full frame sensor. So what I'll likely be doing is shooting with a wider 24-70 on the D4s, and I'll be probably shooting with a 70-200 2.8 on this camera body, which will actually turn it into about a 105 to 300, right? Yeah, right. So I have a little bit of a gap from that 70 to the 105, and if that's a problem, then all I really have to do is switch lenses on the two camera bodies and it'll fix that. But yeah, I'm excited to use it. I've got a shoot tonight that I'll be hopefully get this battery charged up right now, and we'll test it out and we'll come back and see what we get. All right, thanks. I've went ahead and unboxed the D500 here. So far I have shot a couple of assignments with it, and it is glorious. I did want to show you a little bit of the differences though between the new D500 and my flagship D4s from a couple of years ago. That's got about 3 years of service in it now. Biggest thing is vertical grip is built into the D4s, whereas you can buy an attachment for the D500, which I've done here. I shoot a lot of vertical photos, and also it allows you to put an extra battery in it. Another factor that I've noticed, because I will be shooting a lot of sports with both of these cameras, is my buffer and my frame rate. The D4s shoots 11 frames per second. Should be more than enough to capture any sporting event that I shoot. The D500 is not much slower. It's set at 10 frames per second. In my opinion, anything above 7 frames per second should be able to do what it needs to do for sports. If I were to go ahead and shoot in RAW with both these cameras, I have 45 photos I can take. Keep in mind it shoots 11 a second. 45 photos before the buffer fills up and the camera slows down. With the D500, I only have 29 photos that I can take before it slows down. Now that is with an SD card in the D500 and a CF card in the D4s. If I were to put in Sony's proprietary XQD cards into these cameras, then I get a lot more out of the shooting. They can shoot for a much longer period of time, but those cards also cost well past $100 a piece. So you're looking at almost close to $300 to get the cards that will allow you to shoot for longer periods of time. And right now, that's just not in the cards for us. So we'll see if that changes in the future. Keep in mind, it was released in 2016, and my D4s was released in 2014. So it is a little older technology. Also, the engines that are in these cameras, this is an X-Speed 4 processor. This is an X-Speed 5 processor, which is the same processor that's in the new flagship D5, which is one generation newer than my D4s. So one of the last big differences that I'll point out is that the D500 does have a tilt screen, which makes it nice to be able to do more video work at a lower angle and things of that nature. So it is kind of cool that you can do that. Also, you can do Hail Mary work a little bit easier, whereas the D4s is just a flat screen. So as far as weight, the D4s is definitely a bigger camera. It does weigh more. But yeah, other than that, as you can tell, they're about the same height once you've added the vertical grip. But the D500 is a little bit easier for me to grip. So it's actually it's going to be a great camera. It's going to be a great secondary camera body, and I look forward to shooting with it more. And like I said, those are the biggest differences between the two. The D500 also is a higher megapixel camera. It's a 20 megapixel compared to a 16 megapixel. The ISOs are really close. The ISO capabilities of the D500 are slightly better. Again, it's just 2 more years of technology advancements than with Nikon. It also has built-in Wi-Fi, so I can take the photos with this camera and immediately move them over onto my phone. That's going to be really nice for spot news events such as wildfires, and things of that nature. When you're really in a hurry to get photos back to the office, that'll be a little bit quicker with the D500 than with the D4s. Again, so hopefully you got something out of that, and yeah, I look forward to making more photos with both these cameras. Thanks for watching.